Happy birthday, Michael. On behalf of the millions of people whose lives you've touched as a creative spirit, as a teacher, and as a friend, I'm delighted to present you with the Lifetime Achievement Award because it truly is millions of people that you've reached and touched and changed in very, very important ways. Because while you've taught and engaged thousands of people, each of us has in turn gone forward with the teachings that you have shared so robustly to reach thousands of other people. In fact, the reason I can't be with you today is that I was previously committed to lead a creative workshop for the elected officials here on the Central Coast. So I would like to take just a few moments to highlight what's been especially important to me and to many, many others in terms of your creative spirit, your teaching, and your friendship. You know, it's one thing to have a course, it's another thing to write a book on creativity in business, but you truly created a movement on creativity in business. And I don't think people who weren't there 40 years ago when you were doing this would have a real appreciation for what a dramatic achievement that really was. I recall, for example, when we were first meeting in the Creativity and Business course, it was actually 40 years ago this spring. We were meeting in a room, we had the lights off, we were chanting, and all of a sudden there was a huge knock on the door. And in came Alan Enthoven, one of Robert McNamara's whiz kids from the Pentagon, who was teaching economics at Stanford. He was in the class next door and he said, "What the hell is going on here?" And it was really a moment of crisis for our course as we were just starting. And we sort of looked at each other and thought, okay, do we fold our tents and go away, or do we proceed and go forward? And I'm sure it took a lot of negotiation, a lot of creativity, a lot of perseverance on your part to introduce this course to a skeptical faculty, and frankly also to a skeptical group of students who were used to the kinds of challenges that you were presenting in the course. So I thank you for your sticking with that, for your demonstrating to us the ability to bring creativity forth in the world, even amidst the challenges that we may face. And then I'm thinking of you as a teacher, because, you know, it's one thing to impart knowledge that you have and knowledge from others. It's quite something else to really help people find that knowledge within themselves and to have that live with them in a very deep way. And I recall how powerful it was for me, and frankly, how transformative it has been for my career and life experience, that you had us each week do a live with, where we lived with the idea. We didn't have to accept it. We didn't have to, you know, go all in, but to live with it and to see what life would be like with that sort of perspective. You know, many of the wonderful ideas that you shared through that, like, you know, just be average, and let your creativity come forward. We don't have to be spectacular because that creates a pressure and a challenge for us to be creative. But many, many ideas like that that were tremendously useful. And the experiences that we had in the class, I remember you bringing in Nolan Bushnell, the founder of Atari, and the first video game, Pong. Seems so archaic now, but it was exciting to hear his creative process. And then we also had Steve Jobs. Remember him coming, you know, in his sandals. He just created the Apple One and sitting cross-legged up on the table and chatting with us about his life and his creativity. It was a very rich and rewarding kind of experience, but it was really helping us to each find our own creative space and opportunity. And that's hugely powerful and hugely beneficial, and so grateful for that. And then the third domain, friendship. You know, it's striking to me, especially since we live 250 miles apart. It's been decades. It'd be easy for friendships to kind of fall by the wayside. And what's really striking to me is that every time we get together, it's an opportunity to really explore something deeper about ourselves and the connections that we have. I remember just the last occasion right there at the very museum where you're gathering tonight. we're talking about and discovering our shared Czech heritage and our experiences of growing up in the Chicago area. So lots and lots of things that create a friendship that's deep and meaningful. And it's a wonderful thing that you do that so givingly with yourself and your time and your interest. So for all these reasons and for many more, I'm so grateful for you, Michael. So pleased to present you this Lifetime Achievement Award. Hope you continue to enjoy decades of creative and fulfilling life experiences for yourself. And I know I certainly look forward to many more opportunities to share and enjoy your friendship. I love you, Michael. Wish you all the best. Thank you so much for being part of my life.